Did you see the announcement that Coca-Cola signed a deal with Jose Mourinho for his
Mm-mm.
AI likeness?
No, I didn't.
So that is interesting to me because, this will be the first World Cup post ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the last one was 2022,
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
really, AI has taken a hold. So I'll be curious to see, because we saw that happen in the Super Bowl. There was a lot of discussion around AI
Mhm.
ads, and also the AI products being sold during it. And
Mhm.
I think there's obviously a lot of AI fatigue. So it was interesting to me. Coca-Cola is obviously doing some really forward-thinking stuff with AI in advertising and marketing, signing a deal with one of the biggest names in soccer, but doing it with his AI likeness.
Mhm.
Very interesting. There's been not that much backlash around it, but
Probably
then
because
again,
nobody's heard of it. I didn't hear about this, and, like,
they
I have been paying attention, so it's really interesting. Because I mean, we talked about the backlash against their holiday commercial, right? Where they used AI. So, yeah, maybe it's because we haven't quite seen what the product looks like.
correct. Yeah, it's just the deal. They haven't really
Mhm.
produced anything yet, but I think that speaks volumes. And this is going to be ongoing, not just throughout. So
Yeah.
that now Coca-Cola is allowed to use his and think of the agility and the speed. What was interesting? Did you see the Nike campaign where Nike quickly jumped into action and did the Always Knicks campaign in New York?
Mm-mm.
So they bought a billboard, had a campaign of different Knicks fans. So
Mm.
obviously the celebrities that you would expect that you see courtside, but then also the little 3-year-old girl that's a
Oh,
huge
yes, yes.
Jalen
Okay, I did
Brunson
see that.
fan.
Mhm. Mhm.
They, I don't know how long they'd been working on that, but they had the billboard up um, at MSG. And when they won the first two games in San Antonio, this ended up being the place where fans went and flocked and took
Mhm.
pictures of themselves in front of the
Mhm,
billboard.
mhm, mhm.
Huge viral moment, and an opportunity for them. And it just goes to show how quickly they can act. So I wonder if that's what this unlocks for Coca-Cola, because
Mm.
now they don't have to fly Jose Mourinho out to do something. And let's face it, he's too authentic to be a good actor. So trying to get him to make a good ad, like he
Yeah.
can only be himself. So it's kind
Uh-huh.
of cool that they did that he allowed them to do an AI digital twin, because they can now do some really cool things and he must be okay with it, and they
Mhm,
can whip
mhm.
it up much more quickly. So this is the first of its kind. It'd be interesting to see what they produce out of it. I'm more optimistic than skeptical, but I've yet to see anything awesome happen with AI. Truly, truly awesome. Everything's like almost there, but no one's really quite figured out exactly how to make the brand shine using AI.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those moments that's like it should be it you have the people, you have the players, right? Like, so many of them are so well known. You have, like, the mega stars, but since you have so many of the country ones also there, like, what are those opportunities to play for those audiences directly? I don't know why you would go the AI route, when, like, the people are there. But yeah, I haven't seen any of this, though I am reading here that he did a similar thing with Snickers in 2024, but I don't
Mm.
remember that one either. So that'll
I was
be
going to
yeah.
say, you wouldn't take a big gamble like that around the World Cup. Like, I'm sure his team and his agents and all that feel pretty comfortable.
Is he still
But
playing?
no,
Right,
Mourinho's about to start. He's been coaching for a long time. He retired as
right,
a player for a long time, but
right.
I think he's about to start coaching Real Madrid again,
Mm.
if I remember correctly. As you can tell, I don't keep up on all the soccer news. I like playing it, not so much following it as much. But the ability, just think about this, like this. So this has only hit the trade news. There's really only
Mhm.
7 mentions in the news, and
Okay, same.
near 0 mentions on social media.
Uh-huh.
But the trade press is talking about how the production efficiency, they're going to create 200 plus pieces of reactive content that, think about a human team, what you would have to stand up to create content reactively. So now with AI, they're going to be able to, something will happen viral that could go viral in one of these 104 matches, and they could quickly whip up a Jose Mourinho reaction to it.
Mhm.
That I They have a huge opportunity here to do
Mhm.
something cool with it. I hope they do. There's also an opportunity for something to go horribly wrong and they get
Yeah.
criticized, which will also be fun. If you think about all the brands that are always involved in the World Cup, right? Nike, Adidas, Coca-Cola, Budweiser. There's so many brands that you always expect to see there, not just the consumer brands, but there's airlines and so on and so forth. They have to do something different and interesting every year.
Yeah.
You know, they can't just keep doing the same old stuff. So kudos to Coca-Cola for trying something different.
Yeah, definitely. That reminds me, the airline travel one, a side by side of like seeing the country, like country play, but like from really far away, or seeing the country, like being in the country. And I thought that was like a really cool way to, bring the attention back to like the actual countries, and not necessarily just making it about, soccer, but still bringing in and making it be about soccer, right? Because it's like, how many of us are actually going to get to go to a game and like watch, the tournament?
I think that's what hopefully AI will do as well, is help people think creatively about what's not been done before and something out of the box, and then produce it, because we're just so used to all the gimmicky, typical stuff. Again, maybe what Coca-Cola might do. Do you remember in the Euro tournament when it was, I think it was Cristiano Ronaldo. He was at a press conference and there was
the Coca-Cola, and that he moved it out of the
exactly,
way.
and he turned it because he's sponsored by Pepsi or whatever it might be. I think it's stuff like that. I think that's hopefully what it enables, because honestly, like what everybody latches onto is something quick, like a very long lead time manufactured. It's very hard in marketing to sort of pull off something that is in the moment, and that's what we seem to love the most. Like, oh, look how quickly they thought of that. So I can't wait to see if that actually happens in these 104 matches this year.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say that that's a great lesson. There is like how quickly you can take, an idea and like build a campaign around it, right? I think that's what was so successful about the Norwegian campaign, was that their community has been doing the Viking rowing chant. That's become like a thing that like symbolizes to everybody in our community, all the Norwegians, that this is like we're rooting for the Norwegian team. And so they took that idea and were like, okay, how do we take that one, to that next step? And so they created this, campaign of dressing up the soccer players as, Vikings. And so it shows that they're, listening to their community. And the fact that they were able to like turn it around, like, pretty quickly, and create that, shows that like, that ability is there. And then for the other ones, it's like, at least for the Nike and like Adidas one, it's like really showcasing the players at like their best, and throwing in some like humorous, moments. But I think also defaulting to the fact that like, as a fan of the World Cup, I expect there to be commercials that show the players like playing soccer, doing all the fancy tricks and like playing against each other and doing all that. So I like that at least those two brands kept that's same standard going, and then highlighting the different players doing cool shit, which sometimes you don't need to come up with something brand new when it's like what you already have is effective.
Two again. So you've got to know your values. If you're going to capitalize on viral moments, and that's what sports is great at, it's a healthy battle of two sides. We shake hands at the end of it, but during that time, it's like Norway versus Sweden, Norway versus England, Norway versus the world. And so they can lean into the Viking stuff. And then at the end of it, everyone's going to be friends. And if you want to be a brand that gets involved in that stuff and not have a backlash, you've got to think about two things. Number one, know what your values are. You have to know what you stand for and what you stand against. Otherwise, if you're just going to react and get pulled into a viral moment or a trend or an opportunity without knowing that, you could get yourself into a lot of trouble. And it comes across as much more authentic when you can see it through that lens, when you see that this is an opportunity to demonstrate your values, and you also have to know what you stand against. The other thing is to know your audience. You have to know who you are for and who you are not for, not who you're against, but who you are not for, because a brand can't be everything to everyone. And maybe that's the challenge of a Coca-Cola and a Nike and an Adidas, is you are trying to appeal to everyone. So they really have to dance on the line of politics very, very closely. But if you know who you are for, just like the Norwegian national team, it's a lot easier to make decisions that we are going to capitalize on this viral moment. We're going to go make this particular photo. But the advice to marketers, if you really want to capitalize on trends, then it's all about listening and monitoring. And I'm not doing a plug for Meltwater, I promise. But the amount, like if you're going to really do something unique, you have to keep a watchful eye. And it's not just about what people say, it's understanding what people think. It's not about
Mhm.
just like the specific words or the comments. It's understanding what people think. And true marketing gold, like if I was a CMO, the one thing that I would be fixated on trying to understand is, what do people believe? Because if you understand what people believe, it's so much easier to create stuff that really connects. But if you're just reacting to what people say, that's when you get actually attacked, and you get a little bit of a backlash, but for being surface level, for
Mhm.
just jumping on a bandwagon. So the lesson here is for brands to really understand their values, their audience, and to keep a close eye on what people believe, not just what they say.
Brilliant, brilliant.